Entrepreneurs, have you ever found yourself in a compromising position where you're discouraged at your 9 to 5, even though you know it's the very source of investment for your business that will free you from that 9 to 5? Well, if you've been looking for answers as to how you can deal with the problem successfully before things explode, look no further. You found the right video. In this video, I'm going to offer you 3 simple tips that is going to allow you to keep your job and to actually have the outcome that you've been looking for with your successful business. Diving right into tip number one. Tip number one is remember your why. Why are you doing this? Why are you deciding to start this business? Is it because you want to better provide for your family? Is it because you want to create financial freedom and actual time freedom for those things that matters to you and those people that you love? Or is it because you simply wanted to leave a higher impact on the world? Whatever the reason that you've started this journey, I want you to remember it. When challenges show up, I don't want you to forget why it is you started something that you truly believe in your heart is the right thing to do for not just you, but for others. So remembering your why is an important thing that will help you maintain through the difficult situation. Now, jumping into tip number two, I want you to actually last through the learning curve. What do I mean by last through the learning curve? Well, when you're in a situation where a challenge shows up, it feels like, especially if it's something that you're not prepared for. Let's just say a situation shows up where something was happening that was unjust workplace, and you knew that it was unethical and unprofessional, and it could have effect on not just the organization and the customers involved, but your fellow employees as well. So you take a stand. Now, you may meet resistance with people, right? The situation may be difficult, and that person or people may be difficult as a result of you taking that stance. Because you have to remember, everyone is not going to agree with your position at times. So long as you're standing in truth and speaking in love, you don't have to worry about that. Now, if you have a bad disposition, meaning your attitude is bad, you're being reactive, and you're simply jumping the gun in this situation, you need to fix that, right? But if you have a position that's just and people have a problem with it, then that's their problem, right? But if you have a bad disposition, then you need to change it. But the point is, you're going to meet challenges in your business as well. Let's face it, successful people have problems too, right? You've heard the saying, more money, more problems. Well, when challenges show up like difficult people, right? And just challenges that are difficult in their very nature, you have to learn to resolve, to deal with it, and not allow it to throw you off your path, right? Like I said, remember why you're doing this. Why are you starting this business? Who does it help? Think about who actually loses out if you get discouraged. So learning to deal with difficult people in difficult situations will actually be one of the biggest game changers moving forward for your business, right? So hang in there. Finally, tip number three. This is one of the most important tips that I could give you concerning this. So I want you to be encouraged, and I want you to use these tips because they will actually change in your life. Tip number three, keep covenant with yourself. What do I mean by covenant? Well, some people mix covenant with contracts, and they're actually two different things. A contract is an agreement between two people, right, over a mutual distrust, right? Let's, and I'll explain that. Let's just say that you have entered into a contract for a service that you're providing, and the contract states that if you don't provide said services in the time that was promised or at the quality or value that you promise, you can be sued by the other party involved, right? And if the other person doesn't pay you for said services in a timely fashion, in exchange for the value offered, you can sue them, right? So it's basically an agreement based on a mutual distrust. Now, a covenant, on the other hand, from biblical days, when they would do a covenant, they would go through a particular ceremony. But that ceremony was based on a mutual love and trust. So a covenant is very different, right? So it's based on trust. So when you break covenant with yourself, that means whatever word that you've resolved to keep for yourself in terms of keeping that job no matter what, right? Because remember, the reason why you would do that is because if you're starting out on an entrepreneurial journey, the best thing you could do is keep your 9 to 5 job, especially if you're not extremely cash liquid and you don't have a ton of cash reserves that could cover your living expenses for up to 3 to 5 years. If you don't have that, it's always wise to keep your 9 to 5 job, live below your means, so you can use the disposable income from your wages to invest in the business, right? To give the business financial momentum, which will eventually allow you to leave your 9 to 5. So keeping your word also, most importantly, builds confidence within yourself. Because if you can keep your word with yourself, you can easily keep your word with others. And that confidence within yourself will resonate with others, right? You will be exuding that confidence. People will be more drawn to you and your business. People will be more persuaded about proposition, right? When you're selling will be a breeze because people, for whatever reason, are drawn to confidence. And remember, if you don't need the sale to pay your bills and to survive, people will also be able to sense that. And if you didn't know, psychologically, people are more cooperative with people who financially don't need them. But if you actually have commission breath, meaning that one will make or break you, whether that's being able to pay your light bill, your rent, your car payment, or whatever it is, people will usually resist that, right? Even if you offer a lot of value. So keeping your word with yourself and holding that job, despite whatever challenge you're facing on that job, will actually serve not only you at a higher level, but others, right? So I hope these tips were helpful to you guys. I want you to remember to like any of the videos that you see because basically the algorithm actually, serves videos up to more people like yourself. When you like the video, subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell because I don't want you to miss other videos like this. Because I truly feel like us 9 to 5 entrepreneurs, we need to make better decisions moving forward and have best practices. And that's why I make these videos. And also leave a comment so I can know exactly if this was helpful to you, or leave some questions, or even share a story of a difficult time that you're having on your job right now. And get encouraged by others in the comments and their stories and how they're dealing with it. I hope this video was a blessing to you guys. Enjoy the rest of your week.